Hey everyone, it's Brian here. I am making this video for my reactions to WWE Tables, Ladders and Chairs, or TLC 2018. So normally I would do a predictions video the day before like this as well, but I don't know if it's like a recent update or something, but every time something's inactive or just not being focused on for like 3 minutes, my laptop decides to try and refresh that tab. So whenever I'm trying to go through the card for the predictions, it would just basically refresh this camera a bit and it would basically shut the camera off. So I could be rambling on for about 5 minutes and it would actually be cut off. So from now on, I'm just going to do WWE 2K19 predictions, and then I'll upload it to YouTube once I've done with that. And then I'll do a reaction video like this if it's something worth talking about. I'm not going to do every pay-per-view, just the ones that have something to talk about, and I feel like TLC 2018 definitely does. For me, it's possibly pay-per-view of the year. I know one of the other ones I was positive about was WrestleMania 34, perhaps being the best WrestleMania. I did say since 25, but then I realised that you had the Divas Battle Royal, which ended with a man winning, so I kind of take that back a little bit. It was just about that Shawn and Undertaker was on there. It was a really good match. The Money in the Bank match was really good at that one. Triple H and Austin was good, but it was just unfortunate that it was a main event where it could have been Shawn and Taker, but no one knew that Shawn and Taker was going to be that good in the first place, so can't blame them. What else was a good match? Well, Ray and JBL was an interesting moment, to say the least. Yeah, other than that, I like TLC. Despite the fact, I think it was 4 hours, which seems a bit weird for a pay-per-view like this. I thought it would have been about 3. Normally it's just ones like Survivor Series, Rumble, Mania of 4 hours long. So this one was, I think it was a 1 hour pre-show, 4 hour main show, 12 matches altogether, 2 on the pre-show, 10 on the main show, maybe a couple of matches too much, some of them didn't need to be there. But it was a really good pay-per-view. I think it was very solid. I think WWE have this, well, not they don't have a tendency, but I think the way it sort of gets to me is if they sort of, not like the build-up's been all bad, mainly just the Raw side has, but if it's like an average build-up and you're sort of like, whatever, it actually comes off as a better show. It's definitely left me intrigued to actually watch Raw now, compared to before this, where I literally couldn't give a shit about Raw because it was that terrible. But they've managed to like close up some storylines they're building, which was quite nice. So we'll start off with the pre-show. 2 matches are the Cruiserweight Championship match, Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. Again, another really good match between them. Instead of Buddy not being able to kick out the lumbar check, Cedric, it was brilliant because Cedric sort of drags him, goes to pin him, but he hasn't pulled him far enough, therefore Buddy puts his foot on the rope. A few more counters, Murphy's Law, Murphy retains. Happy to see that. We could possibly, I don't know who'd be next, maybe Brian Kendrick possibly could be next, because we've had Cedric twice, we've had Ali, I think, twice now. Can't really think of anyone that's currently being built up to go against Buddy Murphy, unless it's going to be a Tony Nese turn at some point. Maybe we could have a triple threat between Ali and Cedric and Murphy, wouldn't be against that. Next match is the one I was least interested in. I'm so glad it was pre-show. It was Lashley versus Elias for the guitar ladder match. They changed the rules to it, I think. So from what they did last night with the sledgehammer one between Triple H and Kevin Nash was the item was held in the ladder position, like the belt normally is. They climbed it. They pick it down. Whoever has it is allowed to use it. In this one, it was literally just whoever unhooked the guitar could, but whoever unhooked the guitar won the match. It was good, like 5 or 6 minutes, I think it was. Elias ends up winning by taking it down. It's weird because it's sort of like hooked on, but it's like the giant strap to put around. So Elias ended up winning that. He went to go smack Lashley with the guitar. Lashley stopped him. Not Lashley, sorry. Leo Rush stopped him. Then Lashley used it on him. Probably continuing the feud. Yeah, on to the main show. First match is the Mixed Match Challenge Final. Turns out these were actually the only 2 teams that were actually stayed together since the very first episode of Season 2. Yeah, Fabulous Truth, R-Truth and Carmella going against Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox, or Maha Alicia, I think they're known as. Basically, the winners would get the number 30 entrance spot, which I wasn't really happy with because I like the idea that entrant 30 in the Rumble is like this big surprise, like it's meant to be a really big surprise. Like, unless based on what they've gone with here and what I've sort of mentioned in my predictions video. So it's an alright match. It's slippy in other places, but yeah, it's sort of what mixed match challenges anyway. So R-Truth and Carmella end up winning. They both get entrance number 30. My theory is that, well, and everyone else's as well, is that R-Truth, because his character is he's an idiot, is that he won't go into the men's rumble at number 30, but he'll actually go into the women's at number 30. And then Carmelo will kind of go, no, this is my rumble. You were supposed to be in the other one. So basically, R-Truth wouldn't come out in the men's one, and then they would replace him with someone else much bigger, I think. Unless he just gets attacked backstage and then someone else takes it. They also had like an all expenses paid trip to anywhere in the world, and it was brilliant because R-Truth is like, I've got somewhere. It's like, I've already put the arrangements, I've already done all this. And basically, it's like, we're going somewhere exotic, we're going somewhere brilliant. And Carmella's like, oh, we're going Rio, we're going Barcelona, we're going Paris. He goes, no, we're going Stamford, Connecticut at WWE headquarters. And she's like, what? And then, yeah, so that'll be interesting to see where they go with that. Like I said, it's sort of like an easy way for them to get out of all expense paid stuff. It's just they're just going to their headquarters. Next match, from what I can remember, I can't. I think it was the New Day versus the Usos versus the Bar for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It's a really good match. I really enjoyed this match. This was one of the, I wouldn't say it's one of the only matches I watched every minute of. I did start pausing and skipping through every now and then because some of the matches I just wasn't, like, not that I wasn't interested, it's just I didn't think I could just sit through every minute of it. But again, really good match from the Bar, Usos, and New Day. They're all like really good, pretty much the best thing in the tag division altogether. Pretty much once again proving why they are. The ending to the match is brilliant. Xavier's about to go for his, like, I think it's like a springboard DDT, not a springboard, like a through the ropes DDT that he normally does. Cesaro basically grabs his leg, distracts him for it, and as he's about to jump through, he gets hit with a Bro Kick by Sheamus to the Bar retain, which is pretty much what I wanted, because we've had the New Day as champions plenty of times, we've had the Usos as champions plenty of times. I know we've had the Bar as champions plenty of times, but I think, considering for the past year or two, it's been New Day and Usos all the time. I'm more than happy to have it be the Bar for a little while longer. Whoever challenges them next, I do not know. Maybe the Good Brothers again. Who knows? So next match, I believe, was... Well, I'll just try and go through from what I can remember. If it's not in the right order, I do apologise. I'm going to go with Natalya versus Ruby Riott in the tables match. Again, this was one where it's like, I was half interested in it. Like, I knew that Natalya had to win because the whole feel good moment. You don't mention someone's dead relatives without them actually winning. Again, it was nice to see that she managed to get Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan through tables. She pulled that table from under the ring. Turns out it's got Ruby Riott's face on it. Ends up powerbombing Ruby Riott through that. So she ends up winning. So obviously, like I said, it's a nice moment. Next match is, I think it's Corbin versus Strowman. So basically, the fancy booking I had pretty much happened all in one night. I had this whole fancy booking from after this up until maybe WrestleMania time. So Corbin comes out. He's special guest referee. They ring the bell, start counting for Strowman to be counted out and lose by forfeit. Strowman comes out at 7, grabs a microphone and says, "Hey Baron, you forgot to mention in the TLC that there's no disqualification. So let's say I have a friend or so that wants to help me out, and they can, and it's perfectly legal." So as that's happening, Apollo comes through the crowd. He's got a chair. They turn to another side of the ring. You've got Chad Gable and Bobby Roode there, also with chairs. Then he goes to leave out the other side, and there's Finn Balor stood there with the chairs, which sort of builds up as to what they've been doing over the past couple of weeks. Don't see how Roode and Gable come in just yet, I think, for the fact they've been put in handicap matches all the time by Corbin. Obviously, Apollo, I think, on the Raw before, sort of helped out Sasha Banks and everyone else. Obviously, Finn's been getting in the way of like McIntyre, Lashley, and Corbin as well. So that all makes sense. Corbin gets a few chair shots hit on him. Heath takes off the referee shirt and like clocks him in the face before everyone starts hitting the chairs. He flies out the ring, goes to walk away. Out comes Kurt Angle, which is what I was sort of expecting would happen. I was thinking it's either Bray or Kurt, and then in my mind I was like, it would make more sense if it was Kurt. So Kurt comes out, grabs a chair, smacks him back into the ring. Everyone hits their finishers. So you got Rude and Gable with a neckbreaker moonsault combo. Apollo Crews hits a frog splash, angle slam, and then it's a coup de grace by Finn. Strowman comes in the ring. Heath Slater puts the referee shirt back on, puts his foot on him, and pins. So Corbin's now out of power. Braun Strowman gets a title shot at the Rumble against Lesnar. Yeah, so my scenario would have pretty much been something like that, where it's like Corbin would have won, probably by forfeit or Heath helping him out. Build up for a few months of this whole heel dominance, like a heel authority dominance thing between Corbin, Lashley, McIntyre. Have people like Finn and Apollo and Rude and Gable and maybe Seth would join in as well. Start eventually fighting back, and then eventually at WrestleMania, Kurt Angle would challenge for his job back, because technically he was never fired, so basically you could have that at Mania. Yeah, like I'm happy to see that it sort of all culminated in one night, and it makes me very intrigued to see what happens on Raw. Basically that's the thing where I was sort of happy to see what happened on Raw. Next we have, I think it's a SmackDown match, if I remember correctly. I think it's Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio in a chairs match. So what I'm going to go with. So that, again, this one was an alright match. I was just watching bits of it. One brilliant bit that I did enjoy, but there's a couple of bits I enjoyed. When Ray does his slide under the bottom rope and splashes him onto the floor, and he has he basically slides on the chair and basically just plants on Orton outside with the chair on the chest. There's a finish where Orton sets up a bunch of chairs, goes to RKO. Ray on a bunch of them, Ray counters, kicks him. I quite enjoyed this moment. I don't know if people probably would have been like, oh, it's a bit weird, whatever. But it's very unique, which is what I enjoyed about it. So they got the chair set up. Randy sort of like groggy sat on the end chair. Ray jumps on one chair. I think he stands on the back bit of it, goes, like, jumps, like, turns, about like a hurricanrana sort of, onto Randy, flips him over to a victory roll pin, and gets the pin that way. It's quite a unique way to win, and like I said, I really enjoyed it. So Ray got the win. Next match, I believe, was Balor and McIntyre. It was a good 10-15 minutes, go both between them. Eventually, Dolph comes out and attacks Drew. Goes to hit him with a chair, but Drew basically grabs it, attacks Dolph, and then goes to use a chair. The ref's like, no, you can't use that chair, you're not allowed. Like, doesn't question the fact that Dolph Ziggler's out doing stuff. Like, literally tries to help Dolph. He's like, oh yeah, Dolph, whatever. But doesn't question at all that Dolph Ziggler's out there for some reason. And then the fact that Drew's got a chair. He gets in the ring, shotgun drop kick by Finn Balor onto the chair, into McIntyre's stomach. McIntyre is on the floor, coup de grace by Finn, so Finn wins. The bit afterwards, like, apparently this backstage segment, I wasn't watching it. Like I said, I was watching this on and off. Apparently Ziggler, for some reason, attacks Finn Balor backstage, which has somehow set up a match for Balor and Ziggler on Raw. There's no general manager at the moment, so who made that decision? It's one of those things that we're going to find out. My guess is Vince probably did it or something. But I just don't get what they're doing with Dolph. I thought this would have been like a Dolph sort of face turn. He would feud with Drew, and now he's going against Finn for some reason. I'm really hoping that it's sort of like, just get rid of this one match and then that's all them sorted. They can all focus on the Rumble. Next was, I do believe, is the WWE title. Ronda versus Nia, I think was a few matches before. I haven't mentioned that. So Nia comes out, obviously gets booed. Ronda's actually getting cheered. It's an alright match, same as, I guess, Money in the Bank-ish. The nice thing is Tamina only gets involved once. The problem I had with Ronda versus Nikki Bella was that Brie got involved like 5 or 6 times. It's a bit too many. There's a brilliant moment where Ronda gets her in the arm breaker. She looks at Tamina, like, just to make sure that she's not going to do anything. She kisses Nia's like knuckle as like the whole face break thing, and then puts her in the armbar. Nia taps out, so Ronda retains. Nia's walking backstage, hurt with her arm. Becky comes along and goes, "Hey, do you remember that time that you clocked me in the face and gave me a concussion?" Kicks her in the stomach, just clocks her in the face. And she's like, "You keep my name out of your mouth, bitch," and like walks off. I was like, yes. And it's like, basically, so Nia gets her comeuppance for that as well, so that's great. And then later on, Ronda gets interviewed, and they're like, "Oh, so now you've beat Nia Jax. You said your next opponent, like next target is Charlotte, so what are you gonna do about it?" She goes, "Oh, you know how the old saying goes, payback's a bitch. I'm the baddest one on the planet," and she walks off. So obviously it leaves a bit more intrigue as to where it's going to go next. So where was I? WWE title match. Styles versus Bryan. Great 25-minute match. I think it was like one of the longest matches on there. The last 3 matches were about 25 minutes plus each. Probably could have been spread out a bit more, but I like the fact that the WWE title was a bit closer to the end rather than just like in the middle or early. Again, really great match. It's Dan and Bryan go for AJ Styles' ribs versus AJ Styles going for Dan and Bryan's leg. Lot of submission moves, reversals. Again, great match between these two. These two are amazing veterans in the ring, and pretty much gone to show why they're at the level they're at and why they're in the main event. At one point, AJ Styles goes for an phenomenal forearm. Dan and Bryan goes to kick him as a counter. AJ Styles grabs his leg, hits him with a dragon screw, puts him in calf crusher, and there's a bit where he goes to reapply the strength on the calf crusher, and Dan and Bryan uses that to jump to the rope and gets a break. There's bits where they go to hit their finisher, they move out of the way, almost hit the ref. Styles goes for a small package, then Bryan reverses that and wins with a small package that way, which I was quite happy to see because it doesn't weaken any of them. It sort of goes with the whole Dan and Bryan getting a sneaky way to win. It wasn't anything dirty about it because obviously it's just a small package. But obviously due to just like wear and tear, I guess is the term for it, that AJ Styles wasn't able to kick out because they've been going that long. So I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch of the Rumble, possibly, maybe with a stipulation. Speaking of matches that should have had stipulations, next match, second to last match, Dean versus Seth is a normal match. That, I think, should have been a TLC match, considering the whole build-up to it. Dean's character was really confusing. He went from lunatic to fringe to now being super hygienic, and everyone else is filthy and disgusting and all this stuff. Great storytelling in this match. Dean pretty much in the build-up was like, Seth's emotions going to get the better of him. He's going to do this, and that's when I'm going to beat him for the title. Again, really good matches. There's bits where they're just trash talking each other. You have these moments where they're staring at each other, throwing all sorts of stuff at each other. I think there's a bit at the end where Dean goes to do like the whole shield bump thing, like fist bump, like please have mercy, and says like, "You fucking kid," like literally just blatant swearing, and he like literally hits him. He goes, "This is for Roman, you piece of shit," like that, and I think he goes to hit him with a curb stomp or something. Dean counters, hits Dirty Deeds, pins Seth, and he's now the new Intercontinental Champion. So I'm hoping we have that rematch. Dean retains. Seth goes off to win the Rumble. Maybe win the Rumble. Like he'll be one of my contenders for the Rumble. Like be more focused main event, and maybe someone like Finn could go after Dean possibly. I wouldn't be against seeing that at all. And now finally onto the main event. Because this video is almost got 20 minutes now, I've been rambling too much. It's Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Asuka in the first historic, remember, don't forget it's history, okay? Triple threat TLC match. That will become a retaining thing because, like, the whole historic thing, because that's all WWE ever do now. It gets really fucking annoying. So, again, amazing match between the three of them. Amazing spots in there where you're just like, holy shit. There's one bit where Becky sets up Charlotte and Asuka on the table. Asuka rolls up. She basically climbs up a ladder, does her like leg drop thing. Asuka rolls out the way, and she literally just lands full body on Charlotte's chest, bounces, and then the second bounce is what makes the table collapse. Obviously, literally using tables, ladders, and chairs is great. Using all of them in like a bunch of unique ways. The ending is there's two separate ladders set up. Charlotte and Asuka are fighting on one. Becky sets up the second one and climbs up that. Charlotte knocks Asuka down, jumps over to the other ladder, starts beating up Becky Lynch. Ronda Rousey then comes out and then tips the ladder to knock both of them over. Now, I've had a lot of people complaining about this because it sort of weakens Asuka's title victory, because Asuka basically afterwards climbed the ladder. But I think, to me, it's the best scenario they could have gone with, because it doesn't matter what they would have done, people would complain either way. If Asuka just won clean, then they would have complained, oh, it makes Becky look weak, blah, 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 or whatever. Because it's perfect way of saying, I'm getting back at Charlotte for what she did to me at Survivor Series, and also, I haven't forgot what Becky Lynch has been saying to me, and all this stuff, and what Becky Lynch did when she invaded Raw. So it sets up both a match with Charlotte and a match with Becky, perhaps even both. My hope is that Becky Lynch wins the Women's Rumble, jumps over to Raw to challenge Ronda at WrestleMania. We might get a triple threat, who knows, maybe we'll get two co-winners of the Rumble, where Charlotte and Becky fall out at the same time, and they just announce they're both winners, therefore they both get title matches at WrestleMania. Who knows? Like I said, I'm really intrigued to see where the story goes. End of the night, Asuka has won the Women's Championship. She's had a mixed 2018. Started off great, winning the Rumble. I'll sort that in a minute. And then, obviously, after losing at WrestleMania, which is fair enough, she's had, after that was, literally the worst 6 months, where she went from this super incredible, undefeated, superstar to she's losing to Carmella twice, and then just doing nothing. And now the fact that she's women's champion, we could have new contenders, because I don't want to see Charlotte up there again. Charlotte's had God knows how many title shots since being on the main roster. Becky obviously can have a rematch. Maybe Charlotte will cost her there, so you can sort of have that go off. But then you could probably have people like Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, whoever else is a heel. Maybe even Naomi, just out of respect, has a match with her. It'd be nice to see some new competition for the SmackDown Women's title. But that's pretty much all of TLC together. Like I said, I think it's one of the best pay-per-views that WWE have had this year. Leaves a lot of intrigue as to what's coming up next, and we get to focus on our build to the Rumble. I was very, going into it, I was intrigued, and I'm glad I was, because, like I said, it was a really good pay-per-view. Let me know what your comments are on the pay-per-view, and I shall hopefully see you in the next video, which, for WWE's sake, will be, it'll be the Rumble predictions video, or maybe if I'm doing a WWE 2K19 stream, or I'm going to talk about something that happens on a Raw. If something major happens on a Raw or SmackDown that's worth talking about, then I will. But like I said, I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall hopefully see you in the next one.